Massive electoral roll cleanup in Kerala. What is going on? Over 24 lakh voters out of draft electoral roll in Kerala after SIR. Massive electoral roll cleanup, like I said. Now, this has triggered fresh controversy as over 24 lakh voters have been excluded under the EC's ongoing SIR. The draft roll, which was published on Tuesday, lists 2.54 crore voters, but alongside it, there is what is called as ASD, that is absent, shifted and dead. This list reveals massive exclusions. According to the ASD figures, 6.45 lakh voters are marked untraceable or absent, 8.16 lakh are permanently shifted and 1.60 lakh fall under other categories, while 6.49 lakh are deceased and 1.36 their names appear duplicated. BJP strongholds have also emerged at the top of the list. Thiruvananthapuram leads with 4.36 lakh flagged voters with key segments like Nemom and also other areas reporting ASD rates above 25% in several booths. Thrissur, where BJP had a stupendous win during the Lok Sabha seat, has 2.56 lakh flagged voters. In one booth, 3.34 voters were untraceable. Now, the thing is that in Palakkad, over 2 lakh names remain under question, with 50 to 65% untraceable in several BJP-leaning booths. Other districts also show similarly high numbers. Ernakulam at 3.34 lakhs and Malappuram, Kozhikode, Kollam, each exceeding 1 lakh flagged voters. Statewide, more than 16 lakh names remain under scrutiny even after follow-up verification. So there are lots of questions. Of course, there were allegations right in the beginning and by LDF and also UDF that this SIR exercise is futile. But now as we see it, BJP strongholds have really suffered a major backlash. Rahul Ishwar has joined us, author and activist, and Professor Ronnie K. Baby, spokesperson for the Congress in Kerala. A very warm welcome, namaskaram to both of you for making the time. Rahul Ishwar, SIR has been in the eye of the storm starting when it started in Bihar. People said that the BLOs are not visiting us and deliberately our names are being rejected. Then Tamil Nadu also, you remember what Chidambaram said. Now Kerala also, Pinarayi also objected. You know, this story, because it's not as if the names have been deleted or taken off only in Kerala. There is the same story in neighboring Tamil Nadu. There is the same story in Madhya Pradesh as well, Rahul. But the point is that the BJP, which went on hammer and tongs and said that the SIR can be the best thing to do it, also suggesting that Guspetiye or those who had actually entered illegally, those immigrants, they can be weeded out. Today, those areas which are BJP bastions are facing a lot of problems, whether it's Thiruvananthapuram or Thrissur, Rahul Ishwar.
Sudhaji, two submissions. First of all, voting is one of the most sacred things we can do in a democracy and we all respect. And that process should be having as much as election integrity or electoral integrity as the US people call it. So election integrity is an absolute must. Second, justice needs to be done and justice also needs to be shown that it is being done. That's the reason why Election Commission should go the extra mile in pointing out that no anomalies are there, no issues are there. And there has been many inhibitions that has been happening across India. But it's very natural. The process of having inhibition is very natural, whether some people will be left out, whether some marginalized communities will be left out, whether people will be having politically sliced and diced. So these are natural inhibitions that can happen. In Kerala's thing, of 6,45,548 people are listed as untraceable and absent, which is a sizable number because 6 lakhs, Kerala is only having 3.5 crore people, out of which 6,50,000, nearly 6,50,000 and nearly 8,16,221 has been said as permanently shifted. Kerala also has another issue where people has a large amount of migration, especially to the European nations. So, and there has been 1,60,830 people listed in the others category. So there are numbers, and if there are inhibitions and if there are issues, I'm sure Election Commission will work it out because Election Commission is a very large body. They have been bearing the brunt of criticism for some time from many leaders. So they'll be very careful about it. And beyond politics, we need electoral integrity. And I think that's a fair point. Everyone will agree with.
All right. Professor, if I could come to you, Professor, the thing is that your party, of course, apart from the fact that, you did make an issue out of vote chori. Rahul Gandhi, he presented and he made a lot of presentations showing in Karnataka and other places, how Mahadevapura in Karnataka was one example that vote choris have happened. There have been one address, but same name but different addresses. Today, if you look at the electoral roll, Rahul spoke very well. He said the ASD, that is absent or dead or shifted, those have happened. But the point of the matter is that how come, Professor Baby, the state electoral rolls there were used recently, you had by-elections recently, you had polls recently, and now the anomaly is there when you look at this. How do you explain this even to somebody like me whose name has been deleted?
The records which was published yesterday clearly shows that the allegations raised by Rahul Gandhi regarding vote chori is proven correct. When you look into the data which was published yesterday, we can see that the number of voters which were untraceable or which were out of the list, the top 10 constituencies are either BJP strongholds or BJP came first or second in the last 2024 Lok Sabha election. You see, I just take an example of Nemam constituency, which is a stronghold of BJP, where the BJP won in 2019, 2021 Lok Sabha, the previous assembly election. For the 2 times, BJP won that constituency from Nemam. 45,618 voters were out of the voters listed. You see the number, 45,000. Around 20 to 25% of the total voters of that constituency. Another one is Vaturkava, 50,000 voters. Another one is Thiruvananthapuram, 54,000 voters. 54,000 voters. That comes around 25% of the total voters of that constituency. See how BJP systematically. And when you look into the Thrissur Lok Sabha constituency,
yes, which is their bastion. Yeah, they had a fabulous win from there, sir.
Yeah. In the Thrissur Lok Sabha constituency, in all the 7 assembly segments, the number of voters which were out of the draft voters list is very huge number, which clearly shows that BJP systematically wooing the election, which is clearly shows that BJP purposefully did some anomalies.
That's what I want to go. Yeah, right, sir. I've heard you, Professor. Sir, Rahul Ishwar, you remember what Gopalakrishnan said? That clip which was played by the Congress party. He said if the BJP wants, we can get voters from Kashmir as well. Gentlemen, both of you, do you remember that Gopalakrishnan's bite? Of course, BJP later said, oh, it's rhetorical, I mean, it's exaggerated, etc. But I think this, when we bring up Thiruvananthapuram and we bring up, Ernakulam, we bring up Thrissur, forget Malappuram. I'm talking about mainly Trivandrum and also Thrissur. It seems that it's proven right. Did they get voters from Kashmir and other places? Otherwise, how could there be such a large number of A, absent, S, shifted, D, dead, Rahul Ishwar? How do you believe, you're a man of, God, but you also always say, Sudhaji, I always believe in, logic and scientific and empirical evidence. How do you explain this, Rahul Ishwar?
Without putting blame on anyone, let me point out one basic fundamental flaw that we have. Sri Gopalakrishnan, who is a very prominent leader, is a good friend of mine, went on to say that all the political parties, including theirs, has the habit of making people vote in other constituencies. See, this is a very wrong practice. These kind of systems should be systematically checked by the Election Commission and the courts. The better the election gets, we can always take pride in it. Unfortunately, until the past 10 years, there was no kind of such large-scale election allegations. But right now, Election Commission has a lot to answer. There is no doubt regarding that. As you rightly said, regarding the Mahadevapura, regarding some things, Sri Rahul Gandhi has raised a right point. But I will never go to the extent of saying that election system is totally wrong. We shouldn't go to the extent of Donald Trump in US, who questions the very fundamentals of elections. Then we will lose trust in democracy. Yes, some issues are there. some flagging should be there, and multiple replications of the same person voting across or with the same ID voting across are there. Nobody can deny that, because hundreds of crore people are voting, or nearly, or 140 crore population, out of which a huge percentage, more than 70% is voting. So there is a very serious issue to it. That's the reason why we should systemically address without destabilizing the entire system. That's also an important point, because there is no other way out. Elections is the only way we can express our emotions.
But the thing is that this vote chori accusation seems to be gaining more credence after what we find. It's a very strange thing, no? There are things which are strange, and that's what I'm worried about. That how come there is such a great gap? And I have been told by my sources, and it could be completely, but then the BJP is planning to have a meeting on this same issue, because it's their bastion. And now it's going to hurt them perhaps more than it has ever hurt them before. You are right. Elections should be fair, but are they fair?